That was new.
Phone is talking.
That was so weird.
Shut up, phone. I remembered my axe this time.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the shenanigans here at the Keep. Thank you for joining us on our adventure today. Before we jump into the game, we do have a few announcements to get through. So let's get through those pretty quick and go to play. So first off, next week we will not have an episode for y'all because of Memorial Day. We will not be recording that, and so in observance of Memorial Day, y'all get a week off. Go have fun, and we will be back the following week. Also, you should totally check out Take This. They are an awesome nonprofit charity organization devoted to decreasing the stigma of mental health issues within the gaming community. They do much needed work, and now more than ever, their efforts are very valuable. So if you can support them, please do. If you can't, at least check them out on social media. And while you're on social media, you should also check out the Keep RPG. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all the places. We are the Keep RPG across those. While you are checking out all the things that we do, you can totally check us out live on Twitch. If you're here, awesome. You know we're normally on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Central Time. If you're watching this on YouTube, did you know we go live on Twitch at 6 p.m. Wednesdays? Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central Time. There we go. That's words in the right order. So by all means, please come join us live. Lots of fun. While you are on YouTube, if you weren't already aware, two of our cast here have their own YouTubes. Lots of fun. You should totally check them out. I'm going to go throw it over to the two of them, starting with Garrett to give a brief little brief blurb about Night Shift Night.
I'm awake. I'm here. I'm present. It's not even Christmas. Okay, so every day I do this, I improv it, and it turns into madness. It's so much fun. Because that's kind of what I do on my YubTubs. I just kind of do whatever comes to the brain. I do a lot of different stuff. I treat it almost like it's a social media, but kind of not really. So I just do whatever I want to feel like I want to be doing that day. Like occasional toy reviews or playing with model kits, even though he doesn't have a head. And then sometimes costume building things. Pew, pew, pew. You got to hold it by the actual grip. It doesn't work good that way. Anyway. So
it's a prop, not a real gun.
I also appreciate that you did index your finger
though. Made
of
foam and I yeeted it out of camera. It would have been a lot louder if it were made of anything else.
Just clarifying.
Because you wouldn't be able to do this. You wouldn't be able to. That's a good point. It's foam. Mm-hmm. Please don't arrest me. Fine. So yeah, that's the kind of nonsense I do. And yeah, I'm sure thousands of you are now flocking to YouTube, right?
Jay, you want to do a brief description of Pandaverse?
Yeah, Pandaverse. Gaming on Twitch and YouTube, the Pandaverse, all one word. Do gaming, hang out, talk with people. It's a lot of fun. I've been contemplating doing a cooking episode because apparently that's becoming a thing, and I've been told it might be hilarious to do. Getting very, very close to affiliate status. And I promised my viewers that if we hit affiliate, I will do a marathon stream in a panda onesie. So yeah, that's officially a thing now. But yeah, that's it. I'm on Monday through Friday, noon to 1 Central Time, and then Friday and Saturday night, 6 p.m. to whatever time I get shunted off into Dreamland. That's it.
This whole time I thought Panda Verse was a Panda poetry page.
Dude, okay, so one of the channel points that they wonder that my audience wants is that I tell them a story while I'm playing the game.
I was just about to say, side note, you should create a Panda poetry page.
Yeah.
The story thing is good too.
Yeah, they're like, because we were doing a singing thing, so if you submitted a X amount of bits, then I would sing. And they're
Dance
like,
monkey.
they're like, you should tell stories. And so so that became a thing now. I'm not upset about this because it's totally been helping me work on my improv, but at the same time, that's a lot of brain work for an ADHD kid.
Did you see my name on screen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel you.
And that's it. Back to you, Lord.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and jump into this if we don't have any other announcements.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Jordan, what did you do?
So excited.
When last we left our heroes, having returned to Dragonthrone to address the cracks seen throughout Denegon and the Church of Bahamut, the party has quickly come to realize Tiamat's hold on the situation is much deeper than they had previously expected. Hoping to gather a bit more information, Rai and Quaesitor traveled with Gertie to a repository of knowledge, while Doran, Halberd, and Orberus traversed the cliffs to meet Solyx and Xantir, brother of young Vanera, the Oracle of Bahamut. A semi-successful research trip leaves the wordsmith and librarian with more questions, particularly as Quaesitor overhears that Rylock, an acquaintance from the past, has been meeting with Reuven. The two leave to reunite with the rest of their party, but not before Sarai notes to Quaesitor that while she will continue to assist the group, recent actions have led her to doubt their character. Meanwhile, on the cliffside, firelit reflections of Val's death lead to meaningful conversations between Solyx, Doran, and Halberd. Upon the arrival of Quaesitor and Rai, the group quickly learned that Aura, the aide who had been assisting Solyx, is far older and far more involved than she first appeared. Having summoned Kahir to their strategy session, the Changeling provided key information on the Brotherhood's activities, including a captive matching the description of Tyrek, one of the head keepers of the Sanctum. With much to plan for the succeeding days, the party splits into watches and beds down for the night. While on watch together, Doran updated Quaesitor on the situation with Granny Titchwillow. Thinking to put the magic beans to use to gain an advantage on the curse, Quaesitor planted 2. One provided a familiar nest of eggs, and the other sprouted a very angry treant who had business with the 11th hour that night.
Our tree, our ant.
While the 11th hour is training and preparing, little do they know that their foes are making their own preparations, and that they would soon find out what dark designs were in store for them.
Oh, God.
Last paragraph is always
I was
the one.
on-
I just
you
need
can-
you guys
I was
to
going to say,
know.
that's not, that's
you can see
definitely
Brenda
not.
start shaking her head like, nope, didn't write that.
So let's go ahead and we will jump in with this very first round is only going to be those who are currently active in the situation, which is the Treant, Quaesitor, and Doran. And then second round, we'll get everybody else in.
Do you want all of us to roll initiative or just that?
We are going to go ahead and have everybody roll initiative at this point. So go ahead and do that for me, if you will.
Someone pick my dice for me.
That one right there, the one you're looking at.
So,
Number 3, Garrett. Number 3.
oh, I wish.
Um,
Well, I already threw the dice, so that's my initiative roll.
this is not gonna be good.
Hey, I need to check something on my equipment. What is actually attuned to me right now? Okay, well then.
I don't like this.
Dr. Gibbs.
I don't like this.
Anyway, see? 7, 3. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Man, I'm so glad I took tough when I leveled up.
That's a good one.
Yeah, more HP. Yay!
Okay. Let's go ahead and start with 25 to 20.
Of course.
Halberd?
20. 23.
23.
20.
20 to 15?
20,
19.
19. Great. The people who are asleep. The high
Okay.
mature ones that they didn't ask.
15 to 10?
14.
I got 10.
Oh no.
Oh God! Why?
Yeah, Dorian. Me and you, buddy.
Let's go on watch.
You're gonna save the damn world.
Dorian and Quaesitor, what you got?
7.
7.
That tracks.
Yeah.
Alright, whose dexterity is what? Or who wants to go first? Or do
I
y'all
have
just want to go on the same turn?
I have a +3. I would love to go first, unless he would like to, and then I will defer.
I have a +1 dexterity. I will
Okay.
yield to the taller individual. Where is the battle map? I need to see it. There it is. It's on my TV.
Okay.
Is the square ring of fire the
Yeah.
dome hut thing situation?
Can we zoom out of that at all? Get a little bit of a better view?
Oh yeah, I guess I should pin this.
So it's still in
Yeah,
the
y'all
cave.
summoned it in the cave with you.
Yeah.
And
Blocking our
it's
entrance.
Wow, I
the
thought we went
exit.
outside.
I don't
I
like
thought
this.
we went outside.
No, because if y'all go outside,
Yeah.
if Quaesitor leaves the dome disappears. So
In my
so-
head, when I planted it, we had gone outside, but then she was like, "No, if you leave the dome," and I was like, "Oh yeah, we're in the dome. Guess I didn't. Guess I planted it right there."
Yeah.
I mean, if
Boy, howdy, this is bad.
it is what it is.
No, you're right, Lauren. I wouldn't have left the dome.
It is what it is.
I might not have
So-
planted the bean in the dome, but that's too late. So
Nerds.
All right. Top of the initiative order, Halberd, you awaken. Do
Very good.
you stand up?
Lauren, point of order.
Yes.
Did you say that we got around before the people?
Yes, but I'm establishing that
gotcha.
they're
Okay.
awake and that they're starting to move.
Okay.
So this is essentially their confusion. They're standing up. They're grabbing their. No, you have a good point though. Like this should be y'all just being able to deal with it, and then they'll get to. We'll say this is them grabbing their gear and whatever they're going to use, and then next round they'll be able to stand up and do their movement in full action and everything.
Lauren, what was Xantier? What was his initiative?
Oh, he's at the very end. He did not roll well at all.
Okay.
Oh God.
Okay.
He's a trainee.
Perfect. I wish I would have done the train. All right.
Okay. So Halberd awakens. Next up, Rye. Rye awakens. Next up, the tree ant.
Oh God.
Okay.
Hold it.
This is not gonna end well, y'all.
I mean, it's
At-
outside the.
At this point, what you see is what would normally be a large tree stretching up towards the sky if it had been so permitted. Instead is hunched, bent shoulders. The bark on it is gray-green, fading to white, giving it a very distinctive mottled look. You see gray eyes that snap open and flash red as on horses it's like a second island. It's called a nictitating membrane, and it does that very sort of serpentine horse-like sideways motion for a blink, and this red glow passes over very quickly horizontally.
That's way too much detail. No.
The eyes focus back on you. It's sort of taking in the scene it has been brought to life into, and you see a mouth start to open as the bark parts, leaving shards protruding like jagged teeth shoulders hunched over, crack and split away from the body, forming these two large dangling arms that end in club-like protrusions.
I hate
And it
everything.
gives a second roar as it prepares to angrily
Call
take
that a
out its
bark
fury on those in front of it.
I hate you, Garrett.
So it is going to do its first slam attack at... Question, just to clarify, all of y'all are in the dome, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Quaesitor, did you make the dome opaque or not?
Generally, I make it opaque, yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And
So it makes its first slam attack against the side of the dome, and nothing passes through it. You haven't given it permission to enter, so it is impermeable to the Treantier.
Literally, we could take 4
This
minutes.
Tree of Dread stands a little taller, realizing the futility of its breaking into the dome, and takes its second and third actions to try and widen the cave mouth, hitting up at the opening around the entrance and to the side, trying to just enlarge it. And you feel and hear a slight shift in the earth as it starts just battering away at the rock walls, and you hear rocks start to plink down more and more frequently as it is they're hitting and bouncing off the top of the dome as it is trying to get a little bit more room to move.
As a dwarf and knower of rocks, as a former mine worker, do I know if this is something to be concerned about? The structural integrity of said cave?
You hear the groaning and the creaking of the earth, the stone itself starting to slip and slide. It's not at a dangerous point yet, but you know that if it continues, chances are good that this could end up being a very dangerous situation.
This is doo-doo.
Next up, Orberus. You awaken. After Orberus, Soliex. You awaken. And then Quaesitor and Doran. Quaesitor, what are you doing?
I
Guiding light.
am casting Gesh.
Nice.
Okay.
I am going to say, Ent friend, be our ally.
Tree.
Alright. What saving throw is that?
It is a wisdom save.
Wisdom. Alright. That is going to be a 18.
That is a success.
Okay. So you send out these words. You see it pause momentarily from where it's battering away at the rock walls. It gives a brief roar, and then it goes back to its work, destroying the entrance to the cave here, trying to widen it.
I think that's an action. We said, or you have said, taking a potion is a bonus action, correct? Drinking a potion?
Right.
In the same way, would eating an egg be a bonus action?
Oh my
I
Throw
believe
up.
the spell specifies if it's an action or not.
Oh, it probably is under the magic bean.
It does not specify whether it is or not. Nest of egg springs up. Any creature that eats an egg must make a Constitution save. On a successful save, and then it just goes on from there. It doesn't determine whether it is an action to eat the egg or not. So you know what? I will allow it.
Yes! Okay. I'm
Jordan,
gonna eat an egg.
please don't die.
All right.
It's fine, I'm sure.
Make a Constitution saving throw, please.
21!
21. That is a success.
Yes!
What is your lowest ability score?
That would be strength.
Your strength ability score goes up by 1.
Guys, I don't have a negative modifier anymore. I've waited all campaign for that. That would be my turn. I will stay in the dome.
Okay. Hey, Doran.
I rush forward, yelling. No. I honestly, the cave. I'm like, I want to keep tabs on how the cave is doing. If that passageway is about to be collapsed. I mean, I know what he's trying to make the cave entrance more so he can get out, but like, I want to do a check, I guess, to see how it's faring against the tree ant.
So here's what I'm going to do. This will be a perception check, but I will, because it is essentially using your stone sense, I will allow you to add double proficiency to it.
Yay! I'm sorry, you said that would be a perception?
Yes.
Okay.
Garrett, you
Roll a percent.
are base to base with the tree ant. However, there is dome in between you, but you are base to base if that matters for whatever Lauren says.
Depending on what I roll, we'll see.
I will say, this is taking your action to stop and look around and make this assessment. This is not just a quick glance, which would use your passive perception. This is a more in-depth studying of the potential danger.
Well, at the moment, it doesn't really care or technically know that we're there. So I'm more concerned of, is our dwelling, is our space going to be good? Because if not, then we need to stop it from killing all of us.
Okay.
So I rolled, and it's perception, proficiency. Where's proficiency?
Is it the full plus 12?
How do I find where just proficiency is by itself?
It's plus 5.
Plus 4. Proficiency is plus 4.
Oh, sorry, my initiative.
What's your perception modifier?
My perception is 1.
Is what? 1?
My perception is 1.
Okay, so take your roll and add 9 to it.
Okay, so 22.
22. Okay.
Hey.
Nice.
So you can see that the main body of the cave itself is currently fine. That this corrupted tree, this angry fury that it has entered into, is doing significant damage to the entrance. You can see where the rock is starting to split and where it is starting to actually widen a bit. There's lots of rubble that's being developed, so it's going to start creating difficult terrain here, or it has already created some difficult terrain around the entrance. But it is slowly, effectively widening it, and if it continues, it will be able to get into the open air. And depending on how it places its strikes, it could fairly easily have the entrance collapse behind it.
I relay that to the people waking up, so we can potentially stop this thing from trapping us inside. Although I guess we could dig out, but you know, I relay that to the people in the room, and then I'll go ahead and use the storm rune. Hello?
Okay, so bonus action activates that.
Yes.
Are you going to use any movement at all, or are you staying inside the dome?
Right now, I want to stay in the dome. I like the dome.
All right. Xantier awakens. Back to the top of the order. Halberd. Now, do you stand up? You're awake, you're aware of the situation, you've sort of had this moment of disorientation, but you're getting a grasp on what's happening around you. What are you doing?
Being from the forest, do I know anything about these creatures?
By the way, I've got weapons out. I'm just not attacking.
Okay,
yet.
good deal. Make a nature check.
That's not good. 9.
9. You're vaguely familiar with treants as typically guardians of a specific area. They have a realm that they don't tend to leave. And something about this one is sitting not quite right with you, but you're not quite making the connections to know what's different from what would present as normal for a treant.
And we're currently safe inside. And we got Diggy Boy over here. I don't know what to do. I'm going to look at Rye and point at Xantier, and then point outside and ask a question. Like, point at Rye and Xantier. Like, point at her, Xantier, outside. And then is this thing like effectively blocking? I'm gonna walk out.
You get the sense you could probably like get out of the dome and squeeze your way past it, push your way through.
I mean, the way it looks, I want to step out behind it.
Step out of the dome?
Yep, on the back.
There.
Nope. Behind the dome.
Okay, you can't see it because it's an opaque dome.
Yeah, but it can't see me.
He's doing some sneaky.
It's a forest creature, and based off all literature and historical facts written by a Britishman, I'm going to yell in Elvish at this thing. There seemed to be a problem. Can I help you?
Hello, sir. Can I help you?
So you are hidden at this point, but you're letting it know that you are just you're asking your question, but you're remaining visibly hidden. I'm understanding that right?
Absolutely. I would love to also hide if I'm able to. Behind the opaque thing that can't be seen through.
You may use the dome as cover. Your allies will be able to see through it, so you're not hiding from them.
Yep.
But it is essentially total cover for you. It's unable to see you.
Cool.
So if you want to use bonus action hide.
Yep.
Because rogues can do that.
That's rogues.
Okay. So you speak, your voice echoes through the cavern in Elvish, and there's a pause as it ceases battering against the cave entrance. And then with a deep, slow, resonant voice, you get a response, and you'll see exactly what that is on its turn.
Fantastic.
Great. That's not what I want to hear.
What are you doing, Guy?
I would also like to do a nature check to see if I know anything about these things.
Go ahead.
That is a nat 20 for a 26, Lauren.
Dang.
Wow. Okay. So yes, you are recognizing what it is and the sort of history that comes with it. So you're aware that treants are a form of awakened trees, that they typically dwell in ancient forests, and that they normally prefer to while away the days and months and years in a quiet contemplation and guardianship of their forest. They will fiercely protect their woodland domain from any threat. that the magic that awakens them is frequently sparked by druids, and that the trees that have the potential to be awakened are frequently protected in sacred groves. The treant can occasionally awaken other trees for a short period of time. They can sometimes call wild creatures to aid them or to carry messages for them. And while they, even after they're awakened, while they are mentally aware, they often still live their lives as a tree. And you can see elements of that in the one before you, where in the moments where it has paused and its movement stops, it looks like a tree, especially when you cannot see the face. From the back of it and from side angles, it's a big tree that somehow managed to grow in a very small cave.
Mm-hmm. Somehow.
Usually by druids, just saying.
That is.
Don't you dare blame this on me.
You, which I don't know, maybe this is not something Rye would know, but you had said that to Halberd something seemed off about it. Does Rye get an understanding of that?
Yes. We'll go ahead and we'll say yes. While the form is very similar to that of a typical treant, the actions that it has taken, the entire fury and attitude that it has displayed is very much unlike a typical treant. These are normally peaceful guardians, fierce when roused, but willing to talk and to speak with those who beseech it or who are respectful when entering their domain. The initial instinct to attack is very unlike what a normal treant is. You get there's a I hesitate to call it an aura of suppressed rage, but there's something that is inherently malevolent within this particular being.
Inherently malevolent. Okay.
Full of beans.
It shifts a little bit what I'm gonna do. I'm going to sort of push at Xantier to go out the direction Halberd went, and then I actually want to try pushing forward to reach through and touch the treant if possible. Is there room for me to do that?
Not while staying within the dome.
That's fine.
There's only 2 spots taken up by Dorn and Quaesitor right now.
That's fine.
So do you want to leave the dome?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can...
I will use one of the charges on my cloak to cast shield on myself to bump my AC.
Nice.
And
Keep in
then
mind that will use your reaction.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I would like to touch it, and Lauren, I'm going to attempt to curse it. So I need it to make a wisdom saving throw.
Dang.
We're popping it off.
Oh, that is not nearly as good as last time. That is only going to be a 9.
Perfect. So one of the curses that you can give it is, and I'll have to double check the exact wording, but at the beginning of its turn, it needs to make a wisdom saving throw. Mm-hmm. And if it fails, it cannot take its action.
Nice.
Okay.
Legit.
Fuck on that, brute.
Right. Next up is the Treant's turn. So at this point, it bellows in Elvish in response to Halberd. And it says...
Just gotta come up with a Treant voice.
Oh, my voice does not even get that low. I'm not. This is what y'all are getting.
Do it.
But it says,
Come on.
"No friend am I of cave-dwelling, ill-mannered." Cave-dwelling, ill-mannered folk.
Hurtful. Not that I would know.
Yeah, I don't get that one either.
Channel your inner
Earthbreak.
It's not a thing.
You guys try coming up with this. It's harder than it sounds.
We're not making fun of you. Yeah, you're good. It's just, I was sad the fact that I don't speak Elvish anymore.
Yeah, that's what I was on about.
Who does speak Elvish?
Not me!
Halberd, Rye, Quaesitor? Okay.
The learned folks.
That coming
That
from
tracks.
something born and
Also
raised
hurtful,
in a cave.
I speak fluent Dwarvish.
Earth-breaking enslaver. Set me free, or feel my wrath. So it needs to make a wisdom save. Is that what you said, Rye?
Yes.
It's a natural 17 for a total of 20.
That
Dirty
succeeds.
20.
And succeeds.
Okay.
I could give you advantage.
Let's see what happens.
Okay.
So with being able to take its action, in response to sort of punctuate its furious declaration, it turns and it slams at the dome again. And Rye stepped out of the dome, is that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's going to make a slam attack on her, which is going to be a 26 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Disadvantage. I used nothing.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
At disadvantage, that is going to be a 26 to hit. But it's not a critical hit, so...
Oh.
That is going to be 17 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And it is going to make its last slam attack against the cave entrance. And Doran, you can see where more of the rock is starting to crack and split over the entrance. It has widened it now from a little 4 to 5 foot passageway. It's probably closer to 6 or 7 feet. It is starting to widen it enough. Rock is starting to fall from the ceiling immediately overhead of the treant, where its body is kind of supporting some of the roof itself. Rubble is starting to build up on the ground. You hear it clattering and forming a low barrier around the edge of the dome, where y'all are protected on the inside. Rye, you're dodging pebbles and bits of rock that are falling, but none are damaging enough to hurt you yet. Halberd, you're experiencing much of the same.
Question, Lauren.
Yes.
Does the cave have an AC that I could use cutting words to try and distract him from hitting?
Yes, as a matter of fact. If you would like to
I think-
cunning words that.
I think. Okay, go ahead.
Can I give the cave a potion so it stops getting?
No, you cannot.
What if it's a potion?
Dang it.
What if it's a,
Wait! I forgot to do a cement
what if
check.
it's a potion of
I have a-
Azulus blood?
I have a cave
Concrete.
healing spell, but I need to sleep first.
Hmm. So I think for cutting words, I get to know what the attack is, but then I have to choose whether to use it
Hey,
before I know if it hits.
Okay, so a little bit of wibbly wobbly timey wimey. It is a 23 to hit.
Okay, no idea what the AC is. I'm guessing it's low, and this probably isn't gonna help, but I don't want to collapse a cave, so I'll give it a shot. I will cutting words, and I will just yell at it. Excuse me, good sir, it would seem your bark is worse than your bite. Oh, that's the wrong dice. That would have been a minus 17 if D20s counted. Where's the D10? D10. That's gonna be a minus 6. Yeah, that's a 6.
That takes it from 23 to 17.
Guessing
The
that hits
cave's
the cave.
AC is 17.
Oh, come on.
So it's still it goes slightly off center from as the treant is distracted, but still manages to hit with enough impact to still do its damage.
Cool.
Okay. Orberus, your turn.
Does this thing look familiar to the druid in the party?
Make a nature check.
Oh,
You're from the mountains. You don't have a whole lot of experience with the massive forests that these things would typically come through.
That's fair. That's great because I rolled a 1. No, I rolled a 2. My nature is -1. I hate life.
Your
You've
name.
heard stories, but I mean, it's a whopping big tree, and you're still rubbing the sleep from your eyes, so you're slightly distracted.
All right, I'm gonna walk out to the corner behind Rye.
Are you still using 10 feet of it?
Yeah, if I can be.
Yeah. So you're just on the other side of it, right?
Cool. Cool beans. I'm gonna cast Blight because it's a giant tree,
Nice.
It's a giant tree.
which means it needs to make its save at disadvantage. I'm assuming this is magical tree, right?
It's magical tree.
Okay, so yeah, disadvantage.
What save is it?
Well, I thought it's not. Where is it? There it goes. I accidentally scrolled. There we go. It is
Constitution?
con. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this is not gonna make it, I don't think. That's a 15.
Yeah, that don't make it.
Ew.
So we're gonna cast it there. Thank you.
You need some D8.
I wouldn't turn down
How many do
D8.
you need? I'm a paladin.
I need 6.
I've got 8. Here. Got it?
So that's 8.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah.
You don't have to roll because it's a plant. The spell deals maximum damage. So it just-
To non-magical plants.
If you target a plant creature or a magical plant, it makes the saving throw with disadvantage, and the spell deals maximum damage to it.
Oh, okay.
If it's a non-magical
Nice.
plant, it just dies.
Oh, that's rude. So 9 times 8 is
72.
72 points of ouch damage.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay, so that was 5th level spell then?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. Did I not say that?
You did not. That is
Okay,
very
I apologize. I thought I did. And yeah, so that's that.
That's a strong move.
Oh, can I do this as a bonus action?
Okay.
No, it's a thing. You can use your. Is wild shape an action?
Yes, well,
Okay, no, I can't do that. Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. Solyx, you are up next.
Okay, question, Lauren. If a friendly creature is willing, can I trade places with them using my movement?
Uh,
Really, just sort of grabbing them and moving them as my movement? Meaning, can I rotate positions with Quaesitor?
That's an excellent question.
Is Quaesitor willing? That's another question.
You know, when you asked me to have rules for moving through enemy spaces prepared,
I wasn't prepared for this situation.
None of us were prepared for this situation. Thanks, Jordan.
How could we have not seen this coming, though?
You know what? I will allow it. I'll let it happen.
Cool.
If
Then I will
Quaesitor is
say,
willing.
Quaesitor, let me get close to it and see. Will you let me switch positions with you?
Really don't want us to hurt this thing, but
I just did 72 points of damage.
I
It's
know
too
that.
late for that because you saw.
It's not too late.
Firewood tonight.
You saw a spell from your ally impact it
Right.
that literally rotted a hole through its trunk.
Nice.
Like
I'm
it
not
is-
trying to,
it
like,
is-
reason with it. I'm trying to magically influence it, and I don't want it to be damaged. But I will acquiesce because I'm hoping he doesn't kill it, and if he doesn't kill it,
Okay, then I'm going to move up next to it, and then seeing how it is tree, I'm going to take a gamble, and I'm actually going to pull out the flame tongue dagger, bonus action, light the dagger, and then I'm going to stab it with the dagger.
Okay, roll to hit.
The 25.
That'll hit.
So we can strike through the dome.
Yes, y'all can strike through the dome.
Okay.
It can't. You can.
So, Lauren,
Yes.
this is 8 points of piercing damage, 6 points of radiant damage because I leveled up, and 8 points of fire.
Okay. You strike and swipe through it, and you see where the necromantic energy caused by your druid's blight spell had taken hold and rotted a hole through its trunk. You catch the edge of that larger wound, and some of that matter that had already started decomposing just catches fire and burns. It is a loud shriek, just a shrill, resonating sound that echoes through the cave as the
Did a nice
this treant is really not looking good at this point.
Did the fire seem to do extra damage to it?
From a little flame to a significant impact.
Okay. Then second attack. Here we go. Ooh, not as good. 17.
Still hits.
Okay. Second level divine smite.
What kind of wood is this? Does it have a nice fire smell, Lauren? Lovely.
As a
hickory.
matter of fact, it is smoky and with a very acrid smell that is being released into the cave itself.
Okay, so Lauren, you ready for some numbers? Because here we go. It's
I'm
6
ready.
points of piercing. It is
6 points piercing.
25 points of radiant damage and 9 points of fire damage.
Why am I even here?
Dude, me leveling up and then
Comedic
using this
relief.
flame tongue dagger is awesome.
Good
Okay, so
Lord.
Solyax, this one's yours. How are you striking to bring it down?
I'm just going to take this fancy new dagger that Quaesitor gave me, and I'm just going to keep stabbing at it because I can't really get much above its knee. And I'm just going to sort of just keep going at it until it kind of stops moving.
Okay. So yeah, you find what essentially amounts to a vein or an artery of some kind that has this sticky sap-like fluid running through it. And that catches fire and burns very hot. You can see it starting to glow as this thing ignites from within, and very, very quickly starts to rise away from it, crumbling and collapsing into the mouth of the cave, as it succumbs to the damage and the fire, the rot having been particularly effective in bringing this thing down.
Or we're just going to sit there, pull out a marshmallow out of a stick. No, I'm kidding.
Orberus, I do want you to make a perception check.
Oh, hey, I'm better at those than I am at nature checks, apparently. No, yeah, by a lot. That's a 25.
25,
Where are
awesome.
you on my nature check?
You see from some of the areas growing on this corpse of a tree, things that you hadn't quite noticed before, a number of mushroom varieties that you recognize as being particularly useful.
Ooh.
You find two particularly fine specimens of Boletus aromni, and
Is that a real mushroom?
I was going to say, is that an actual mushroom?
Probably.
Does it make you tall?
it does not make you tall. What Orberus recognizes is that it's a tiny, tiny golden mushroom. And it's harmless to touch, and it's delicious to eat. When you eat it raw, you get a 1d6 bonus to Constitution. You feel a little bit higher in Fortitude for 8 hours. And if you are particularly talented with alchemy, you know that you can distill them into a thick golden syrup that can be used to turn copper and silver and other base metals into gold.
The sworn gold mushrooms were for boosting.
You also find one salvageable, or you see one that might potentially be salvaged if you get to it before the fire burns it out. A Visus invisibilia, which is a very rare, small, nearly transparent mushroom. It's very translucent in its surface, and it generates a milky substance that is seen, that can be seen throughout the bowl of it. And whoever eats the fungus gets the ability to see invisible creatures or objects for 4 hours. However, it can also cause hallucinations if that person is not particularly doesn't have a great constitution.
Well, it's giving us magic mushroom.
I mean, I'm scooping up all the fungi. See what I did there?
You're all welcome.
Question: does that look like the mushrooms that happen to be in a certain satchel that Orberus carries around?
No, they do look different.
Okay, cool. And there was 2 of the alchemy mushrooms and 1 of the invisible mushroom.
Yes.
Awesome.
2 of the gold mushrooms, 1 of the invisible mushrooms.
Rock on.
Question: how does Mouth of Cave look? Is it crumbly or is
very
it
blocked off. And I'm as you're harvesting them, Orberus, I am going to have you go ahead and make dexterity checks to see how quickly you can get to them and how successfully you can harvest them before the fire gets to them. So, what are you going for first?
Can I help him with the fire out enough to get
if the invisible mushroom is the closest to being destroyed, I'll grab that one first.
Okay, so go ahead and make your dex check. For the first one, no, because he hasn't told anybody exactly what he's doing. He just saw those, and you saw him start going for the tree.
I have future vision. What's that?
If you're going to activate your future vision, I will allow advantage for this one.
Future vision, go!
Future vision, rock on.
That lasts for like a minute, so
Yeah. So that's a 19 straight dex, right?
Successful. Just straight dex, yeah.
All right, and for the other 2 mushrooms, do I get advantage on that, or did that take a second?
Sure, go for it.
I mean I've got that for me.
19
so.
for those as well.
Okay, so what you do is you hear Doran calling out, no, wait, watch for that branch. You want to put that fire out. It's about to get the mushroom first, so you got to do the thing. And he's sort of walking you through and guiding it as he's seeing it happen about 6 seconds before it actually happens.
Right.
So he's helping to guide you through it. You got the invisibility one successfully. What was the other checks?
Also a 19.
Okay, yep. So no problem collecting your 3 precious treasures.
I am wanting to put the fires out though, so there's not tons of
Yeah,
stuff.
after I grab the mushrooms, I'll help him put the fire out.
Okay.
Also want to help him check the cave entrance
Yes.
and make sure that it's not going to collapse on us.
Okay, so y'all managed to put the fire out successfully before too much of this very acrid, probably not very healthful smoke fills the cave. Go ahead and make a perception check. Doran can use your stone sense.
+9 thing, right?
Yep.
That,
And by this time, putting out the fire and collecting the mushrooms has taken several minutes at this point. So your storm rune is gone for the day, or for
Can
the.
I give him advantage by helping him? Having grown up in mountains?
I'll allow it.
yay!
See, you help me, I help you. That's how teams work.
Infinitely better. The first roll was a 4. The second roll was an 18.
Nice.
So that's a 27 total.
That seems like how math do. Yes.
Okay.
It's like, I trust your math more than mine.
At
So
this point,
you can.
okay,
Mhm. You do see that there is a little bit of collapse around the entrance. With your keen dwarven senses, you should be able to clear it away without causing further damage. It is wider than it originally was, so it's closer to 8-ish feet wide at this point, rather than the 4 or 5 feet. And you do see cracks that are extending from the strike where the cave where the treant had been striking at the cave entrance, extending up along the walls and through the roof line. So it is more susceptible to damage from future events, whatever may happen there. This cave probably won't last for the ages, but it seems safe for now.
okay. I relay that to everyone.
Well, I've got a spell that can fix it, but we're going to actually need to finish sleeping, preferably without interruption again.
Yes. Yes. Would someone like to explain how a
Sorry,
tree
I made you some eggs.
Oh, perfect. I will grab the eggs from Quaesitor.
There's 4.
Wait,
Awesome.
were there supposed to be for Doran?
Well, yeah, I was just trying to distract, but Doran gets some too.
I'll take 2 and Doran can have 2.
Nice try, darling. How exactly did a tree end up in a cave past an alarm with 2 people on watch?
The same way as the eggs. He was going to be our ally, but y'all killed him more quickly than I anticipated. We're getting very good at killing things.
Doran, I gave you eggs.
I'm gonna say he wasn't gonna be our ally, mate. Actually,
Oh, he definitely was.
The same way as the eggs?
Yes.
I have silently stuffed the eggs in my face.
Okay,
I
Doran,
didn't say anything. I just.
make 2 Constitution saving throws, please.
Oh, I gotta switch. That is the wrong tab. 2 con saves.
2
Plus 4.
Constitution saving throws.
I will roll the yeet dice and hope I don't. Okay. Oh, actually, wait. Yeah, that's not a great number. Constitution on a saving throw. Oh, okay. That's actually better than I thought it would be. That's 14.
14.
Yes.
Did you add the +4 from?
Plus 4 from me.
Oh, well then, no. It is more than what I said.
18.
Yeah.
18.
Thanks.
Oh, buddy.
Okay. As that was the first one. You stuffed them both in at once, or did you do one at a time?
Well, yeah, I said both, huh? Didn't I?
Go ahead and make another saving throw then.
I will again use the yeet dice.
Eat better. Eat a lot better.
My Constitution saving throw deal is 8. The roll was 2.
Oh no.
+4.
And then the +4 from Sully.
Oh no.
That's 2 failures.
Okay.
Those are both failures? How high was it supposed to be?
20 DC.
What?
The
20.
DC was 20.
Oh, well then, fuck.
Appropriate.
I forgot it was that high. I got so lucky that I rolled an 18 on mine.
Well, then,
So, Doran.
Plus 3.
super worthwhile. Every part of this was great.
Survived
what
the tree.
happens? You stuff the eggs in your mouth, you bite down, you enjoy the silky smooth goodness that you swallow, and you feel it hit your belly.
Man, Cadbury cream eggs? Wow! Not sponsored.
And then you get a rumbly in the tummy. And it feels...
Is it from the northern exit or the southern exit?
It's bad all the way around.
Great.
It's so bad. It's like an explosion on your insides. You take
Awesome.
73 points of damage
Ooh. From both or just from one?
from both. That's both combined.
Okay. Oh God, Lauren, you scared the crap out of me. Oh.
That's in total.
That's crazy because 60 would be average. That was some high rolls.
I rolled well for that.
Yeah.
Great.
Doran, you don't look so good here, and have 50 hit points added back. Those
I'll
eggs
pop-
are a doozy.
I'll be like, ooh, I remember when they did that to me, and I'll pop on a 4th level healing word.
I mean, I mean, dwarves may be different, but I imagine the human body would not enjoy this roller coaster of like everything's great and normal, and then everything sucks, and then hey, we're good again. I think that would probably mess with somebody pretty bad.
Might could.
Our watches.
I went from-
for 8 hours.
I went from 136 to 63 or whatever. Now I'm at
Plus 14.
113.
Wow.
Yay!
Can I just make the request that gardening and farming and all the other forms of shenanigans wait until daylight, please?
I'm going to insist upon it because if I get woken up again, I can promise you I'm modifying your memories to believe your next action is going to be taking the rest of those beans, boiling them in a nice pot of water until they're tender, taking whatever is vile and rotting in Celiax's bag, mixing that concoction together and drinking it dry. Do you understand me?
I have unbehold parts.
And she thinks we have severe reactions to things.
I know, right? I say as I'm chewing on an egg.
I figured we were in the dome, everyone was safe. We might get some eggs, we might get an ally. He was going to be an ally, we just killed him too fast.
Lauren, 24.
24 is a success. What is your lowest ability score?
Well, it's either dexterity, intelligence, or wisdom. They're all 14.
All right. Your lowest is a 14.
Yeah, this is my 3rd egg to eat.
Oh my lord.
But even that is only increases by 1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's only going to make it a 15.
I was gonna say you've
Also,
only
magic belt that boosted my other stuff.
right, but what I'm saying
Okay.
is you've only
So what was it?
increased
Dex,
by 2.
intelligence, or wisdom.
All right, roll a d6 for me.
Really?
1 to 2 dex, 3 to 4 intelligence, 5 to 6 wisdom.
Okay, it was a 3, so intelligence.
Intelligence. Your intelligence score goes up.
Nice.
Probably the one you need the most.
I did my religion check, but it doesn't help anything. I was at 50. But, you know.
That's still, you need more intelligence.
With all things said and done, can we please get some sleep? With no more shenanigans. And maybe setting slightly better examples for washing eyes. I'm gonna motion to Zant here.
I go chop some firewood.
Actually, before you chop firewood, is there like a... Okay, I don't know crap about gardening. What's the thing where you like snip off a little bit and you can replant it and make it grow?
Talking about
Grafting?
yes.
No, grafting is putting it onto another plant.
Right. What did he say?
Just rooting, I think. You can take
Yeah.
a section and try to root it.
Is that a doable thing with the tree ant part? This is terrible.
You
I
can
know.
certainly try.
Yeah, I want to try.
Go for it.
What
Okay,
part
what
of
do
you crack?
What do I do?
Yeah, I desperately want to know.
With this, there's enough of it that has been damaged. You can find a fragment of branch or root stock and try to preserve that. Where are you going to try to plant it?
Talking about propagating.
I'm going to go outside the cave like a good person.
I couldn't.
And
I thought it was outside the cave.
I mean, in all fairness, yes. And I'm going to walk far enough away that I can still see the cave, but I want to find a place where it can get some good sunlight, get some good, when the rain comes away and it's not going to immediately wash it away type thing. I'm going to plant it, and then I'm going to use Druidcraft to try and make it like take root, and I realize that Druidcraft doesn't quite say it that way, but I'm just hoping.
Okay. So you're extending the beyond what the normal capabilities of the spell, but you with a wish and a prayer, you plant your little propagation and do your best. So yeah, no, the whole thing takes like 15-20 minutes total for you to find the space and to plant it, and
yeah, just basically
not hard to do.
We destroyed something natural, trying to replenish as druids do, and then I'll go back inside and I guess we were still into Doran and Quaesitor's watch, so we haven't slept hardly at all.
Were we second watch or first watch?
You were second watch.
Second.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Second, yeah.
So
Yeah, nobody's had a long rest successfully at this point yet.
yeah, wonderful.
I'm supposed to be on last watch, so as we start bedding down again, I'll just take last watch.
Okay.
I think I had to watch before you or with you.
Go back to chopping wood.
Okay, so Doran, how long do you want to spend chopping the firewood up? Just for the duration of the rest of your watch?
I mean, I'm mostly joking. I'm just gonna get enough of the detritus out of the way of the door, so we'll be able to get out. I'm trying to just clear the
Okay. Cool.
as much of the.
It takes to make a really reasonable path. It takes a solid 20 to 30 minutes of chopping and moving and shifting things around. But
I'll take a piece of the wood and carve a little
okay,
something. I'll figure out what that is and text you about it.
cool. The rest of y'all's watch passes quietly. Solyax, was there anything you wanted to do over your watch?
I'm casting Bless on myself and eating the last egg.
All right, roll a Constitution saving throw.
Everybody's asleep. Nobody knows what order is. I'm going to look and say, you didn't see anything.
How long do those eggs last?
I think 24 hours. I've got it right here.
Till they turn you head out.
I'm going to actually wild shape into a direwolf and go sit outside the cave.
This may not be enough.
It just says that they spring up and then a creature who eats them, blah, blah, doesn't say they ever go away.
Lauren,
I'm looking specifically. Give me just a moment.
Bless is the best. Because that's a 20.
It's exactly what you needed.
I rolled a 5 and a 3. That was close.
You're an idiot.
I have yet to fail one of these things. These eggs are the best things that ever happened.
Because you can pass with
Why
a 5.
did you roll with advantage?
I didn't. That's bless. I rolled a 5 on my d20, and my bless was a 3, which adds a d4. And then I have a plus 12.
Because Paladin.
20.
Because Paladin, that would do it, yeah. Okay. Roll a d6 for me. 1 to 3 wisdom, 4 to 6, or excuse me, 1 to 3 dex, 4 to 6 wisdom.
It's a 5, so wisdom.
Wisdom.
All right.
Good
These eggs are the
deal.
best. I don't know what people's issue is. Like, they've only been good to me.
I have to roll a 17 not to have that explode in my stomach. Not all of us can pass on a 5.
Get good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it for my watch.
Okay. You'll wake up in the morning refreshed. Xantier's a little groggy. Slightly sleep deprived from the excitement of the night before, but prepared for the day. What are y'all consider this your first day of downtime? So what are y'all wanting to do?
Okay, we need to figure out what we're doing with Xantier.
All right. I'll let y'all figure out what you're doing with... Go ahead. Sorry, Lauren. Go ahead.
You're fine. Speaking of Xantier, he comes up to you in the morning, Silyax, and looks at you very seriously in a more grown-up look than you've seen from him mostly.
More mature than the rest of us.
I wasn't going to say anything. And he says, I appreciate your offer. I want to protect my sister. But to do that, I have to keep learning. I have to keep studying. And as much as I disagree with what's happening, I've learned more here in the last little bit than I ever learned in Farendale.
Your learning wouldn't end. Your learning wouldn't stop. She has been taken to a place called the chapel. Your training and your learning could continue, but you could learn and protect your sister in one go.
Did they fight?
Fighting is a part of life. It's hard to avoid it.
This was an earshot of me.
What's your passive perception?
14.
We'll say, yeah, you're catching bits and pieces.
Might I join in on this conversation?
Please.
There's a couple of things that come to mind, Xantia. I don't know if we actually made acquaintance last night. I think you were heading to bed whenever I arrived. My name is Rai. I'm the one who took your sister to the chapel.
He bows, said, as you're aware, my name is Xantier, and it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
You are obviously grown quite well. I think there are sometimes some misconceptions with war that I would have you consider as you're walking into this, and some things based on what I saw with your sister that I would also ask you to consider before you make a final decision. First of all, I think commonly war is seen as being, because of story and song, a very romantic proportion. There's glory going into war, and there is honor and beauty, and that is not how war actually works. War is grief and it is loss, even if you're on the side that wins. So the first thing I would tell you is please do not be romanticizing what it is that we're moving into. It is not something that an experience you walk away from pleased with the outcome, even if you do succeed. Following that, in the fact that there is no glory in war, while as much as we want to succeed, we can make no guarantees about that. So what I would petition you to consider is the fact that should we fail, we will need someone to take up the sword after us. Should we succeed, we need someone who will be able to take up the torch and create a new world moving forward. And I would challenge you as the brother of an oracle that you are well suited to be in that space. If it really is training that you are looking for and you need, yes, you can get training. Your sister is actually receiving training in her own martial arts while she is over there. And if you find you are displeased with what they have to offer, I know through my own home, we can provide you some additional training. But the last thing that I would beg you to consider is the fact that, from my understanding, over the past 6 months, your sister has had at least 3 major changes in her life, and she does not have your age or your wisdom to understand how to process them. And while I have done my best to provide her with people who will be able to stand next to her and to give her good guidance and to give her comfort, I can promise you that new friends do not amount the same as someone who has had your back time and again.
Make a persuasion check with advantage, because that was amazing.
That was good. That was really good.
26.
26. You see, when you start speaking and you're making your point and you're making your point, there's a little bit of tension that starts filling his shoulders. But as you talk, you see that start to diminish and you see him starting to relax, and it makes him look a lot more childlike, that you're seeing his youth and the lack of wear and tear. And you're seeing more and more of the stress and exhaustion that this whole situation has sort of put on him, and he's trying so hard to live up to it. And you're giving him a way to move forward honorably, to accomplish his goals, and to protect his sister. And you see that relief comes over him, and this relaxation as you are explaining this and continuing to talk. And so you get to the end, and he looks at Solyex and just asks, "Is this true?"
It is. Very true. Where we are going, what we are doing, it's multifaceted. And if I'm being honest, you being with your sister, I know she is safe, but I know she would be safer with someone actually looking out for who actually cares. I know people care because of who she is, but you care on a different level. And I know where you will be needed where she is at.
Very well then. If I can continue my training, continue to learn, so I can be the protector that she needs, that she deserves, I'll go.
Good. First lesson. And I reach into the bag and I pull out my +1 battle axe. Magical weapons hurt devils more than non-magical weapons. This was mine. It's yours now. Be very careful. Take care of it. If it is messed up or damaged or lost, I will come for you. This weapon is your life. Treat it as such.
Yes, sir. I understand. Thank you, sir. And he gives a deep bow very quickly and then stands up to receive the weapon.
Okay. I will give him the battle axe.
After he walks away, I nudge Solyex. How's he gonna mess it up with Reagan's magic? Not easily. You trying to teach him a lesson?
What was that, Garrett? Sorry.
It's a bit
Just
quiet.
a little bit louder.
And I was trying to be louder too, but also use accent.
Yeah, that volume right there.
Frick. What did I even say? I nudge Sully X. I go, magic weapons, they don't break easily. You told him that. Did you tell him all that to... Did you tell him all that to sort of teach him a lesson and convince him to take care of things?
Of course. Magic weapons don't break easily, but they can be lost. And they do indeed break.
Just trying to get him to learn.
As we are sort of getting things ready, I'll go to Rye and say, thank you for that. You definitely said things more convincingly than I think I would have put them in this case. You can get him there, yes?
Oh, yes, darling. I think the question is, what do we need to do to make sure that your return home does not become bumpier than it need be?
I've had some thoughts on that. Quaesitor, do you still know how to feign death?
Oh.
I'm pretty sure I got rid of that useless thing.
Well, okay. Thoughts may change slightly.
Worst case scenario, I can always push him off a cliff right in front of you.
Nope, that's not the case.
Feign death spell is something I can do if necessary.
Okay, here's thought.
Okay.
I do have the ability to get in contact with Aura via sending stones she has given me. I keep it in the bag because trust issues. So, if you were to leave, all of you, I could then use the sending stone to say, I am up on the cave, they have taken Xantir, I'm under attack. You feign death on me, I go down. By the time they get to me, I'm either waking up or they can attempt to wake me up. And I was assaulted by the heretics and they kidnapped the Oracle's brother.
But if we use feign death and they get here before you awaken, they will think you are dead, and then within the hour you will wake up.
A miracle Oklahoma. It's not a great plan. If you have better options, I'm all for it. But this
Well,
is
hopefully they
Well,
try to put you in the ground before you wake up.
that is kind of also.
I don't think it lasts that long.
I would also have concerns, darling, that you would just give them incentive for a witch hunt.
Might I suggest, and this is just a suggestion, from what I understand, his sister is being hunted right now, right?
Yes.
Would it not just make sense for him to disappear while you were sleeping? You took him up to the mountains. What better chance to get away from the people keeping an eye on him? And it's not like they can find him.
From my experience, the better lies are the ones that are actually full of truths, and you just leave enough space for them to lie for you. So it's not necessarily a matter of concocting a story, it's just telling well-spaced truths. We know Sadiq, you came up here to help train him in the correct ways of Bahamut. We also know he is very loyal to his sister. He was actually spying for the heretics, as it were. Very unfortunate to find out all of this at this time, and, well, you just found that he couldn't come down the cliffs with you.
Not a bad story. I did tell the Archpriest that I was going to train him next to the cliffs because death is scary. It's actually not a bad story. Accidents happen.
Not meaning to jump in on this, but you made a comment that this young lady who is drastically younger appearing than she necessarily should be gave you a sending stone. What else did you get from her, and have you had time to look it over and see what is present, or if there might be anything added to it that you don't know about? Because yes, while you might not trust them and that's why you store them away in your bag when they're out. Is there something that you don't trust about them as well? I'd be rather curious. And
I mean, the only thing that's been added to me since I left you guys was the potions and the items given from you guys. I got one half of the sending stone, and I purchased some leather armor for myself.
you picked that up from the store?
I had it made, and then the store delivered it.
Was there?
Why'd you buy leather?
Is this a store you knew about that you requested specifically from, or is this one that they recommended?
It was a store in the plaza. It's one of the more well-known leather makers.
Would you be terribly offended if maybe we
Why'd
had
you
those
buy
things checked out?
Oh, I bought leather armor to sleep in versus the heavy armor. I don't trust things, and that way I at least have some protection while I sleep.
You're learning slowly.
It's not as comfortable as sleeping naked, but you do what you must in these trying times.
I'm kind of agreeing with Halvard at the moment. It seems like it might be a good idea to check over things that.
What are we concerned about?
Anything that you did not have direct contact in getting from an ally right now, especially from someone being in contact with a young lady.
True, I understand the potential for bad here, but what are we
Checking for?
Are you
scrying?
by keeping them in the
sigils
bag? They have no idea. I've not pulled them out since I left.
until you're wearing them, and then they may be a locator beacon, etc., etc. So
Could be a curse upon them.
could be it.
Okay.
I mean, we've definitely had a run-in with cursed objects before.
If it is, you mentioned a scrying beacon. If it is perhaps that, then they would see whoever I'm with. Yes. I'm not supposed to be with them.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Typically, those are within a certain radius.
Well, here's a thought. Quaesitor, I'm reminded of a time when we were in a keep and you attempted to use JoJo to identify a mimic.
Oh, yes.
Could you, at an adequate distance from me via JoJo, identify these two items to make sure there's no bad things?
I could, yes.
Well, I suppose we should do that this morning as we are getting ready to depart.
While you're doing that, I think I'm going to take a moment to fix the damage done to this cave. I'm going to use a mix of stone shape and move earth to fix the damage to the cave.
Okay.
So if I can do that without burning a 6th level spell, I will. But if I need to burn the move earth to fix it, let me know.
If you want to use the abilities of Move Earth, then yeah, you're going to need to cast the spell.
I guess what I'm asking is, will stone shape do enough to fix it, or do I need to go all the way up to move earth?
Stone shape would be a start. It's a 5-foot patch, right?
Double checking. Yes. 5 feet. 5 feet in any dimension.
Okay, so it would be a start, but it would not completely solidify it again. It wouldn't completely restore it. If you want solid earth and the cave back to its inherent strength from before the damage, you would have to use Move Earth.
Okay. Can I do this? Can I use Move Earth to just make it a solid wall, and then stone shape to make like a little dwarven archway?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so
Cool.
Lauren, I'm going to
All right, mark off those spells.
I'm going to ritually cast Detect Magic as I pull out the leather armor and the sending stone away from everybody.
Okay, good deal.
Yeah, there's a whole purpose for JoJo being involved in this. And so, as I'm away from everybody, I'm going to cast Detect Magic. I shouldn't get anything off of the leather armor. Do I get anything off of the leather armor?
There's a faint niggling of a divinatory effect.
Well, that's not supposed to be there. As JoJo comes to me, I will say, JoJo, there's magic on the armor, and there's not supposed to be.
I guess I summoned JoJo.
That would be convenient for the story, sir.
Just over there.
Did you want to, Quaesitor? He's your familiar.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I will
So
bring
you talk to
out.
JoJo, and JoJo looks up at you with his dark eyes and gives a little yip.
And we'll send him to go take a look at the leather armor. And I am able to cast any touch spells through him.
Mm-hmm. He goes, and as he gets closer to it, he starts sniffing at it. And then he looks over his shoulder at you. He's like, do I really? So you go ahead and you reassure him to move forward. And you cast Identify?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. While the magic on it is not currently active, you can identify that there is in fact a beacon, I suppose, that enables the one who scries on it to locate this particular item, and that there is an element of sort of overhearing, like it lends an awareness of the imminent surroundings to whoever when the spell is active, to whoever's listening in. It doesn't currently seem to be activated. It doesn't currently seem like there's anybody listening on the other end, but you find enough of the basis, the threads of magic tying that together.
And so it's whenever they activate essentially on the other side, like there's just a live tap, and whenever they want to tune in, they can.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay. I will relay that to Sulyex.
Well, I don't like that. I'm going to cast a spell magic on it.
Okay.
Didn't ask you to.
Go ahead and roll a d20.
16.
16. The magic on it is dissipated.
Right.
That effect is no longer particularly active.
Sulyex was that a
To clarify, the sending spell is in the bag of holding. Is that right? Or the sending stone?
I pulled it out with it.
Okay.
Sulyex, was that a prudent idea, since it was not having an effect within the bag, and now the caster may have been alerted that you were being watched?
Yes, I'm aware of possible repercussions.
Lauren, did we get a long rest?
Yes, y'all did eventually get a long rest.
I'm going to put both items back into the bag. Or did you cast Identify on the sending stone as well? I missed that.
I have only done it thus far on the armor. If you asked me to do it on the sending stone, then I
Okay,
will
yeah,
as well.
yeah. Make sure that this is just a sending stone and nothing else weird.
Okay. I do that. Or JoJo does.
Okay.
I threw JoJo.
It does appear to be just a sending stone.
Okay. And Lauren, the properties of the sending stone is essentially you can't listen through the sending stone unwarranted.
Right.
Okay.
Towards the tail end of that spell, as Quaesitor has identified it, and it is explaining to you that it does seem to be clear of any further magic. It does activate, and there is a familiar voice that comes through. Aura is trying to contact you.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, "Good morning, Sulyex. Just checking in on how things are progressing. Please let me know if you require anything. I am at your disposal."
We dispose of her.
Well, this morning's training turned interesting. I'm actually heading down the mountain now. We'll fill you as the Archpriest in on everything when I get back.
There's no response. You send that off.
I put both items back in the bag and go back to the group and say, all right, I need to go back down the mountain. Just got a message from Aura wondering if how everything is going okay. Apparently there was something on the armor that could spy. I got rid of it. Then she messaged me. I think she's connected. My intention for this is when I go back down, I imagine this could be mentioned. I honestly intend on mentioning it and saying there's not supposed to be anything on there. I don't like being spied upon without my knowledge. If you wish to keep track of me, let me know beforehand. I am a cautious individual. This is what I plan on informing. And then going forward from there. I like your idea, Rye, and that's the intention of what I plan to go with.
Can we run through that one last time, just so we're all on the same page?
What has happened is I came up the mountain to train Xantir. Xantir is loyal to his sister. In the training, Xantir fell off the cliff. No, in the training, Xantir departed ways with me.
You found that you could not come back down the cliff with him.
Xantir found a different way down the mountain.
As long as you are careful with your wording and avoid any outright lies, I think that is the best
I'll be fine.
mode of explanation.
What was that, Garrett?
It's possible they're going to go looking for the body.
It's a big cliff, lots of falling, things happen. If they do,
Animals eat dead things.
I see giant eagles flying around these cliffs quite often.
And there's explosive beach tracks all around the bottom.
I know, it's terrible.
Yeah. In the meantime, if you could, Solix, there seem to be people that are still held captive by the Brotherhood. I think it would be prudent if you could inquire as to their whereabouts, their location, and relay that to us in one form or another.
I'll see what I can find out without rising suspicion.
Yes, if you can't find out, let us know. I have several ways of scouting the city. I know if Halbert's skills are a testament, then he should probably as well. Excuse me. I'd also like to look into these ritual locations. Maybe use some of my creatures to help scout that out and see what we can disrupt. If disrupting this ritual is the goal, then we need as much information as we can.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking about missing people, do you remember young Norman? He apparently has been missing since we saw him last in the catacombs, and Sarai has been unable to get in contact with him. She mentioned the fact that there may be some places in Dragonheart where it's possible for people to block those types of spells. So you may find out if Norman is actually in Dragonheart, because that would be very bad. Everyone in the catacombs.
I will try to track down Norman. Quaesitor. I mentioned this to Doran and Halbert yesterday. If you and I could meet in the market perhaps every other day until the feast, You communicate with me via your mind. I'll update you on what I find. You update me on what they find. If we have to, we can coordinate some form of a dead drop to pass items. But
I can also send messages through animals, similar to a cleric sending spell.
okay,
So if we need something,
perhaps something like that would be good for. If there's nothing to report, hit that. But if we have long conversations that need to happen while we are innocuously shopping, we can arrange a meet.
and if finding Norman or what happened to him is a priority, I noticed while we were down in the catacombs, an unusual conglomeration of felines that you don't normally find underground. I could talk to them and see if they would mind scouting for us.
I have a bag of magic cats. Part of that is
That explains so much, actually. How many?
there's 600 in the bag now, so there's about 400 running around the catacombs right now.
Oh, this is going to be some long conversations.
You have fun with that. All right, I need to start heading down the mountain. You all need to disappear.
So are we intended to not stay up here?
I would not stay up here for long. Get out of sight somewhere. If you have to go duck back into the cave for a little bit while you guys figure out what you're doing, but if you're going to be up here, move from where I am at, in case they happen to know my location.
Just out of curiosity, Lauren, how far away was the base of the cliffs from the city?
Half a mile.
Towards the base of the cliffs, I could make us a cave type deal to where we don't have to climb the mountain, but just kind of a off-site base of operations if we need it.
That would be good. Also, try to find if there's areas in the catacombs directly under the 5 different places where they are staying, and if we can get external entrances into the catacombs, I think, like you were mentioning, from not having to go through the city, that could be good as well. Yeah. Keep me apprised of any changes. I'll let you know what I find.
As for creating a cave at the base of the cliffs, did we not mention that those areas might be searched here shortly?
That's why I thought it might be best to wait a day or two to make that happen. Give them time to do their search, but I can also make a door or passageway that would not be easily accessible by others. It would take some doing, a couple days to get it all done, but having a safe place outside of the city for us to quickly get to would be a benefit.
One last thing. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this to you guys yet in detail, but I don't know what Sarai knows about it. But Sarai was supposed to, and the other heretics were supposed to be subject to an execution known as Bahamut's cleansing. This is what the execution of the Arbiter normally does. I'm going to run it down for you real quick so you understand the danger. And I want you to let Sarai know what she faces if she gets caught. Bahamut's cleansing is only meant to be used on the most egregious of offenders against the church. It begins with the individual being covered in 7 vials of preferably holy oil, if possible. Regular oil if you cannot get holy oil. Each vial representing one of the 7 golden dragons that accompany Bahamut. And then as the cleansing part of this, as Bahamut's wrath, judgment, cleansing, the Arbiter then sets those found guilty aflame. And when the Arbiter is someone such as myself, their breath is preferred to be the weapon of choice. this is what would befall. This is what they want me to do to the heretics if they're caught. Obviously, I won't do this, but if I refuse on the day and we are failing, I might be overpowered and subject to a similar fate, charged as a heretic, and there the archpriest may take it upon himself to do the igniting. These are the stakes.
But ouch.
And so, let Sarai know, let any other heretics who are affiliated with the church, heretics I say, who are affiliated with the church, know of their potential danger.
So it sounds like part of our priorities before the Feast of Strength will be to quietly and quickly remove the heretics from their captivity.
That would be good. If we cannot stop what they're doing, we need to save who we can. On the day of the feast, I know I'm supposed to play a role. I don't know what the role is. Obviously, I will not fulfill whatever they want me to.
Is it possible that you're, in lieu of the heretics, that your life may be what they end up sacrificing?
This is possible.
If these people are who you say they are, then...
We save the innocents first, then me.
Well, I don't disagree with that. Would you showing up in the first place even be in an effort, the guise of fulfilling your role, rather than in the guise of just standing and
I
stopping
don't want to be there if at all possible, but if I have to for the purpose of delaying, buying time, whatever. If we are not ready, if the plans are not laid, if you guys need an extra 10 minutes to get people out. If I don't have to be there at all that day, please let me know and I want to. But if I have to, then I will.
That's...
This is what we have, a little over a week left to prepare for this. And that preparation, hopefully I won't have to be there.
Then it almost seems like our priorities should be in order. Free the captives, sabotage the ritual, find Norman if we happen to run across him, and find a way to get said captives that we freed out of the city and to safety. Am I missing anything, or have we?
I'll start with interrogating the heretics to attempt to locate their position. I'll find some way to find out at least their number of people they have.
In the meantime, while you're doing that, I've got a few things that I can do to help. What's the word I'm looking for? Oh gosh, brain just died. That help with supplies and whatnot. I think there's something we can do to boost your arrows, halberd. Mr. Quaesitor, I see you carry a crossbow. Crossbow. I think we can do something to enhance your bolts as well.
I was actually thinking of doing the same thing for Doran's crossbow, since I know he is mostly a hand-to-hand person, and sometimes is prohibited from getting that close. And I thought a buffer to his ranged weapon might be helpful.
I think that would be always good.
Before I leave, I've given you guys most of the party funds. I have a chime of opening, has a few uses left. Is that something y'all might want? I also have 1 ounce of black metal. Dorian, here, you can take that. I
Feel
don't.
that-
It
the
literally is just 1 ounce of black metal.
I don't know what that means. I will write.
The chime of opening might be best utilized by our sneaky friend.
Perfect. Use it in a jailbreak. I also have oil of unlocking.
Unwalking?
Unlocking.
Locking. That makes
So
that would be a
it's
very
also
strange potion.
also might be useful in the jailbreak. So here.
Potion of unlock.
Halberd, if you have the chime, may I take the oil?
I'm gonna have to think about how effective, especially if I'm trying to be rather quiet, a chime.
Perhaps I should take the chime because I can bamf in and out, and you could have the oil.
I think that's a much better idea.
Let's do that then. Do they work as approximately?
Well, it's just morning so you can get in there and like jimmy the lock better.
Do they work approximately the same? Soljex?
No idea. They're in the bag. We got these. We got these forever ago.
I remember the chime. We used it in Drsinia's tower, didn't we? Or found it there, one of the two?
I don't know, dude.
That's the
Maybe.
oil.
That was the oil?
Yeah, I was going to say the oil of unlocking is what we found in the tower, I believe.
Okay.
This stuff is next to the Teen Bahamut Bible, and that kind of tells you the, spending it per minute.
The what?
Well, I do think it is very important that we continue to get people out of the city to try and interrupt the ritual. I do think it would also be beneficial to continue learning about this ritual because I would assume they have a backup for true believers to sacrifice themselves if necessary.
All right.
Sinister idea.
We have 5 locations, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
6 actually, because I do believe we know where the actual feast itself will be held.
Yes.
All right, I can, and Howard, you may want to go with me on this one. I can use the critters to scout through certain areas. I can become a critter, obviously, as you've seen. So, I think between the two of us, some scouting need be done.
That's gonna happen.
Miss Ronnie, you seem like a very learned sort. Do you want to try researching, or do you have other ideas?
Oh, I will be continuing my research. I have a few additional things I want to do in order to prepare my spell book. And then there was an item I had thought could be of use to Halberd that I was going to go ahead and develop as well in the meantime.
Miss Raw, is there a way for you to possibly contact our Sanctum? I believe like Val and I had planned to get in contact with Rissa, and I would like to be able to let her know.
Chris was supposed to be here yesterday.
I know. She was supposed to meet up with Val.
I could contact her.
That would be good.
Actually, yes, Cases, one of my apologies. I keep forgetting you slept and are more magical than before. So, yes, if you might have a way of contacting her to get in contact, and that was redundant. But, yeah, just letting her know what's going on and getting word out to the rest of our Sanctum. It might be time to start boring up some more doors, preparing for a bigger storm to come than what did previously.
I think as soon as we finish this conversation, I will try contacting Rissa if she was supposed to be here already. That seems important and disconcerting. I had a thought for disrupting the Brotherhood's plans. I could, over the next few weeks, perhaps at least in the evenings, disguise myself under various guises as different races, members of the Brotherhood, visiting these 5 locations and quietly sowing discord. I am fairly persuasive, and I additionally have magics that can affect individuals without their knowledge. Unlike lower level magics where an individual might know if they were their mind was being tampered with or become angry when a spell ends, I do have high level magics that could affect larger groups, and those unaffected, I believe, would be unaware. I could only do this once a day, but I could visit one location each day.
That seems like a handy trick.
It's worth looking into.
That is, Lauren, if I understand mass suggestion correctly. So
I was about to ask, is this mass
I
suggestion?
figured.
Yes.
Reading through it, I couldn't, but I didn't. Anyway, yeah. Between persuasion and the arcane, I could try to turn locations against the Brotherhood, even get them kicked out. I don't know to what extent, how effective it could be, and possibly with varying results in different locations. But
well, I mean, even if you could use it to get information out of them, it would be
good,
quite helpful.
Try to keep me apprised of everything you learn.
Lauren, you had
Yes.
mentioned to me outside of the game that Rye might have picked up some stuff about Tarek and Elias.
Yes. Roll an Arcana check for me, because you were there with Halberd when Kahir was describing them and what was going on with them.
It's a 12.
It's a 12. It's ringing a bell. There's something about it that sounds familiar. You might want to spend a little bit of time researching.
I will mention that broadly to everybody.
Ask again. I'll say this again. Ask Sarai. What happened after I left to Anna, Priv, and Elias? Where they were sent after they graduated? What they were doing? We were all friends growing up. I imagine they remained friends after I got selected to be the Arbiter. She might have answers in this regard.
Also, if there's time, and time is of the essence here, but if there's time, I could go, if I can find a large enough tree around here, I could travel back to the home of the Druids, particularly the clan where your friend Audia has been staying with, and see if we might conjure some allies that could come back with me. Now, that would take a couple days, because I can only cast a spell once per day. But if I could use that time to recruit any allies that might come and join us, it might be worth having a few friends.
Might be.
I think it would definitely be worth having a few friends at least. Once again, seeing what aid we might receive, but as Rye mentioned earlier, if this goes poorly, and there's a possibility that it will, people need to know and be ready and prepare their own lands and their own homes, because I very seriously doubt if sanctums were affected on other worlds as well, this is not going to maintain itself on just this planet of existence.
Also, I think it'd be good to reach out to our allies. If they can help us, great. If not, let them know of a potential storm. Reach out to Edge, Master Corian,
I'm
the
going to be
Druids.
talking with our friend Quaesitor, who is suddenly very capable of talking to a lot of people very far.
They need to know that if we fail here, this continent, this world could be in a lot of danger. Specifically, I'm thinking Master Corian. He might have thoughts. I don't know. But I really do need to be heading down this mountain unless they just try to spy on me and see that I'm standing here talking with you all.
Well, if we're going to head down, we can speed the process along by flying versus.
You all do what you need to do. I should take my own route.
I can only take so many people this route, so yeah, let's I can turn into a giant owl.
So last thing before you leave, I'm gonna pull out a small, well-worn Catechism of Bahamut. I don't know, this might be very similar to the books that you have here, but perhaps looking through it you may see some differences. It may be of use, it may not. Perhaps there's something in Donna's margin notes. But either way, maybe it will just be a comfort for you to guide you moving forward, but I thought it would benefit you more than it does me, so.
Thank you. And what was that?
It's just a little catechism to Bahamut.
Okay.
Gonna smile at Rye and nod in approval, knowing that that was a big sacrifice.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and do the first 3 days of downtime. Let's get through this, guys.
Oh gosh.
Oh, Jesus!
Yeah.
All right, so taking the morning to get down the mountain for the first day. Briefly, what are y'all wanting to accomplish?
Xantier.
Okay. So Rye is handling taking Xantier to the chapel. Is anybody else going with her?
As much as I want to, I don't think that's most beneficial.
Okay. So Rye, your activity is taking Xantier to the chapel. We'll get back to you. You'll return this evening and spend the night here with the group and be here to start the next day with everybody. Orberus, what's your activity for the day?
I'm using my jar of alchemy. I'm going to, and my knowledge of herbs and spices, make some, I'd like to make some acid and or poison arrows and crossbow bolts for Halberd, Doran, and Quaesitor.
Okay. Let me pull up the stat specifically for the jar of alchemy here.
They're poison arrows?
Alchemy jug, sorry.
Okay. So are you making acid or are you making poison today? Because you can only do one liquid a day.
Yeah, acid. We're going to start with acid one.
Okay. So you generate 8 ounces of acid.
That's so much.
That's a fair bit. And you want to make acid arrows?
So basically, using Halberd's design of the little containers at the end of arrow tips to where it hits and splashes.
Okay.
And filling those container tips with acid.
Halberd, how many of those empty containers did you have?
I'm trying to think, did we say I made 6 or did I make 4?
This should be in your notes because I will have to dig through my logs to find out.
Have to as well because, and that's the thing, is I've got a scratch mark here. And I know that I have 2 filled and I think I might have 2 left, but...
Okay. So we'll go with that and we'll double check throughout this week. And if you end up having more, then we could possibly do more. So you have generated the acid. You have 2 empty containers to put them into. Go ahead and make 2 sleight of hand checks to see how deftly you can do this.
Do you want to do that or do you want me to?
I get one of these bolts, I can do 5 types of damage with a single arrow.
Oh, good.
Or single bolt, I should say.
Now, is Halberd able to help me on that or is this something I have to do myself?
Does Halberd want to spend his time helping you with it, or does Halberd want to have other things to do?
I don't mind helping. I do need to try to contact the Edge, and we need to talk the rest of the day. So, but that shouldn't take 3
That
years.
shouldn't. I'll allow those things all to happen. So yes, you can go. He can help
Okay.
you.
So the first one was 17.
Okay.
The second one was 21.
Both successes. You have 2 successful brand new acid arrows.
Awesome. And then I'll pour the rest of the acid into a flask. And then the next day I'll work on the rest.
Okay, we'll get to the next day here in just a minute.
Yep.
So those 2 acid arrows will do an additional 2d6 of damage, and that additional flask vial of acid also likewise 2d6 acid damage. To write in y'all's notes.
Yep.
Celiax.
I'm going to do what we said. I'm going to go down. I'm going to inform the archpriest of Xantir's departure down the mountain of a different path.
Okay. Make a, because you've rehearsed, you've gone over the wording, you know exactly how you're presenting it. Make a deception check with advantage.
Okay. 19.
19. You see him, you speak, and you're fairly confident in the way you've presented it, and you're sure done an artful performance, and you see him freeze for a moment, and then he grips the edge of his desk, and you see his knuckles just turn white under his scales from the force of his grip. You hear the wood creak, and it's silent for a moment, and then he explodes, just saying it's a waste of a life. And then he breathes and masters himself, and he says it is a tragic loss for one so young to be gone from us.
Divine sense.
Okay. You don't get any particular ping from him. No celestial, no fiend, no
Undead.
undead. Right. None of that. But he masters the frustration and agrees to send out parties to scour the cliffsides for the next couple of days to find the body and to return him for an honorable burial. That is the least that they can do, of course. And so you leave his office as he is summons Aura to prepare to dispatch a
And
sort of retrieval team.
the last thing I'll do is, as I pass or whatever, the next time I see her and have a chance to conversate with her, I will say, if you wish to keep tabs on me, I prefer to be let known. I don't like unknown enchantments put on items that I purchase.
You see a look of concern across her face. Her eyes are a little wider. Her just jaw slightly drops a little bit. She says, "Oh, that unknown enchantments, that's quite dangerous. Of course not."
Insight check and divine sense.
Make an insight check. You don't sense anything particularly from her.
Okay. 17.
17. She seems honest. Like, she doesn't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Her body language just reads open and clear that she's confused and concerned more than anything else.
The piece of leather armor that I purchased had a spying spell put on it. And I know that it was purchased at a place you suggested and then delivered, I'm sure. Not necessarily by you, but at least with your knowledge. If this was an oversight on your part, I don't appreciate it. If it was your doing, I do not appreciate it.
Of course not. I'm so sorry. I promise that we will get to the bottom of this, and whoever caused this will be dealt with most severely.
Let me know who did it.
Of course.
I like to handle things personally.
Of course, you would wish to handle the discipline. I will inform you as soon as we reach any conclusions on this matter.
Excellent. All right.
you part ways. Anything else you wanted to do over the course of the day?
I mean, that's pretty much it for that day.
Halberd, just going around the screen here. And I have no idea how this is actually going to show up on the Twitch. I just got my Zoom here in front of me. Let's go through it. So Halberd, you have assisted with the creation of the acid arrows, provided steadying hand, managed to save Orberus from dripping acid on himself once or twice.
Got you. Good.
Fantastic.
I appreciate you.
What else are you wanting to do?
Reach out to Eska, with the edge.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the one who commissioned us to go to the Underlord.
Yes.
So,
How are you wanting to reach out to her?
Quaesitor is my new friend in the Manners of Sending.
This is to Eska.
Yeah.
Of course. What would you like me to convey or ask?
That's what I'm working on.
Do you all want to take just a minute to go over the wording for that?
Yeah, if you want to move on.
Okay, we'll give y'all just a minute. Right?
While I'm at the library, would I have a chance to stop in and start with a tinker on the spyglass?
Yeah, you'd be able to get started on that. Are you wanting to do this all in one go, or are you wanting to just set it up?
If I can just get it done, that would be great.
That will take pretty much the entire 3 days.
That's fine, unless someone needs me.
Okay. So you're out for the 3 days. Doran, Garrett, what are you wanting to do over the first day? Do you know?
Speak up, buddy.
I don't know yet. So we still gotta go find homeboy in the tunnels, and we were gonna eventually try and see if there's a correlation between like the streets and the tunnels. That was something that was gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
You can research that. You've got a map with Milo, the other dwarf in the catacombs. So you've got a pretty good start there, if that's something that you want to explore a little bit.
How long will it take me to make those boots?
The boots. Let's see. You're wanting to do expeditious retreat, is that right?
Yes, so I can bonus action to dash.
Great.
Bonus action, speedy door.
Yes.
So you already have the rubric for it. You've already got the boots for it. Is that right?
Yes, I bought those a long time ago. I've been hefting around a pair of boots.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That will take 80 hours of work. So you can break that up into 10 8-hour days. You can get someone to help cut that down. You can have one assistant on that, so that'll take 5 days, working 8-hour days, or you can speed it up and be working around the clock to cut that from 5 8-hour days to however you want to handle that. You could do 4 10-hour days. You could do 3 1/3 12-hour days, I think. That's how the math works out.
It's like a normal work week.
I thought we only... How long do we even have? I thought we had a week.
You've got 10 days.
Okay. Wow.
So we're going through the first 3 right now, and it does not have to be consecutive. So you can do 2 days on it. You can do an 8-hour day and a 10-hour day and just be chipping away at the 80 hours. I will say it will also cost, hold on, where's my book here? It will also cost money for the particular supplies that you'll need, and I will pull that up here in just a minute. What are you thinking?
About what?
What you would like to do over these first 3 days?
I wanted to make the boots.
Right. You can definitely start on it. And if y'all are wanting to do multiple days at a time, you don't have to necessarily take a long rest. Like, you can work around the clock and knock them out in 3 days. That's essentially what Rye's going to be doing. She's just going to also be making Constitution saving throws to see how many levels of exhaustion she ends up with.
Maybe
Yeah,
I'll eat those
I'll-
mushrooms.
I'll do that. I'll work around the clock to finish these things. I need this.
Okay. So for Ryan Doran, let's go ahead and knock that out real quick. We'll make your first Constitution save at the end of this day. This is a DC 10 to start with.
This is a Constitution save.
Constitution saving throw.
Maybe I'll do better than with eggs.
13.
Half the DC, so.
9 plus 8, 7.
17. You're good. So yeah, consistently working around the clock. You are focused. You are in the zone. You are getting things done. So, good job.
Okay.
Halberd and Quaesitor. I'm sending to Rissa. Have y'all decided how y'all are going to phrase that?
Sending to Eska.
He was sending to, I will
excuse
be
me.
sending to
Eska,
Rissa,
yes.
but yeah, for Eska for Halberd.
Go for Rissa first if you got it.
Oh, if we want to jump to my day, on the way down, as we're walking back down the cliff, I will message Rissa. Wes, will you count words for me?
Got you, do.
So, all right, message to Rissa. Are you in Dragon Throne? There we go.
3 words. No, 4 words. You're right. Never
Are
mind.
you in
In
Dragon?
Dragon Throne.
Yep, are you in Dragon Throne? We got this.
Can count, promise.
Val is dead. I got 25 words, yo.
No mercy.
Take extra precaution.
This is gonna be down here if y'all need me.
Do you have information for us? Is there somewhere you'd like to meet?
You got 2 words left.
Love you.
Stay safe.
Same thing.
She responds.
It's not gonna go well.
No, it's dead.
I'm not on World, but at the Sanctum. I'm sorry for Val's loss. He said it would be unsafe. What information do you require?
Do we know what Val was meeting her for? Because I don't. Jordan doesn't remember this. Y'all reminded me.
I don't think so.
Okay, sweet. Wait, do we know that Val was meeting her, or did we just totally met of that?
No, the Val told you that
Okay, cool.
she was coming.
That was just so long ago. I didn't remember.
No, only a couple days. What you talking about?
I think it was to drop off the books.
No. I'm.
Logic would dictate.
No, that's exactly what it was. It was just a hand over the
Logic would
journals.
dictate get rid of books.
Okay. Okay, I will. I guess send a second message and say,
Albert also wanted to talk to her.
He's good. Take it for now.
well, if you have something, because I don't need the whole message necessarily.
Yes.
If you just give me a concept, anything you want relayed.
The library is tracking down the journals for the Sanctum.
Okay. I will say. Just touching base. Since Val was supposed to meet. We have books to give you. The library is tracking down more. Forwards. Should we keep them?
No.
I'm not saying we should. I had 4 words and I could ask. Just want to know what her thoughts are.
If you're in that much danger, they'll be safer here. The library is a good ally to us. Where should we retrieve the books? We'll go with books. Where should we retrieve the books?
I'm going to let that go for now so I can consult with the team and ask if Halberd has a message he wants me to send to Eska.
Mm-hmm. I do. Yes. First part's a little bit better. Last part's going to be rougher.
That's okay.
Reach out and say, y'all aren't forgotten. We couldn't force freedom underneath. Should be at 8. But are preparing the ground for it. The Brotherhood of Tiamat gathers. Halberd. They gather Halberd. There was
I'll
a
do
plot.
that. I'll do that in my best Halberd voice since I'm signing off as Halberd. And if you're cool, I'll roll a performance check for that.
Go for it.
I want to hear it.
Roll, but I'm good at. So that's a 21.
It is a very impressive impersonation. The intonation is spot on.
Well done. That's so good.
All right,
Yeah,
Eska.
What if you have to get high enough to not be Wes trying to be Halberd?
A 3.
5.
You're not forgotten, Eska. The Brotherhood is gathering. That was bad. The first part was better.
That's still better than Wes's.
That was
That's
very
still better
short.
than
Still better than
No.
Wes's.
You're not forgotten,
Right.
mate.
She responds, and her voice is colder and sharper than what you remember it being. I appreciate the news. We'll keep an eye out. If danger heads our way, do let us know.
How many sending spells do you have left?
0 at the correct level. I can always upcast.
I kind of just want to say, if danger heads your way, we'll all be dead, and you won't know. But
yeah,
Did
I
you-
can. I'll use a fourth for that, and I'll just add "stay safe" at the end.
She responds back. Safety is but an illusion. May your next message be somewhat more helpful.
I don't remember who this person is, so.
Shade.
yeah.
Is there anything else y'all wanted to do for day 1?
I would. So I'll send those messages as we walk back. About what time do we get back to the city?
Noonish?
Noonish. I would like to spend until evening. So say 4 or 5 hours working on the enchantment for Doran's crossbow.
Okay.
Basically for these 3 days, I'll spend my 8 hours, or today just a half day, working on it, and then in the evenings at around 5 or 6, I'm going to start going to the 5 locations.
Okay.
I do
This
have one thing.
is okay. This is going to be another 80-hour project.
For a first level spell?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Almost like enchanting is really difficult, and we
Just a bit.
bit off a lot more than we should. I want to be a blacksmith. I want to make things. I want to make magic items.
Making
Only-
mundane items is significantly easier and takes significantly less time and resources than trying to craft magic items.
I heard like the first or the last part of that. I missed like the first few words there.
Sorry. Mundane is significantly easier than magical.
Monday, okay.
That's what it amounts to. So you want to go ahead and start on that, Quaesitor?
Yes. Yeah, I'll go ahead and spend the first 5 hours. Spend from noon to 5. And then I'll just get a little tally going here so I know what I've done.
Okay. If y'all want to keep track of the hours that y'all work, it's got to amount to 80, but I'm going to let y'all keep track of your own hours. So
what is
Doran and Rye, you rolled your first Constitution saving throw at midnight. So that's from about noon when you started till about midnight, and we'll call that 12 hours of work.
And then, like I said, that evening I will hit the first location, disguise self, and start. If I cast mass suggestion, do I know who it affects? Like who I effectually enchant?
You're high enough level, I'll say yeah.
Okay.
What
And-
is your sentence or 2, and which location are you going to?
Okay.
You have the Shallows, you have the Eleganza, you have the Heritage District, you have the Bastion Ward, and you have the Harbor District. There are locations that you've been given in each of those 5 districts.
Right. So where are we staying, in the catacombs, or are we staying at an inn? We've been staying in the catacombs, correct?
Right.
Okay. And our entrance to the catacombs was in the River District?
Your entrance to the catacombs. Let
think
me
it was
pull out my map here.
I think it was section 9
The Heritage District,
in the Heritage
I believe,
District.
was where you were, where you had your entrance. Yes.
Okay, in the Heritage District. So, let's say, remind me what the Eleganza is.
The Eleganza is sort of a higher class entertainment district for the most part.
Hmm.
You can find expensive tea shops, more expensive like dinner theaters, and more luxury goods. It services the wealthier population.
Okay, and the Celestial Squirrel, that was the location we were given, what type of establishment is that?
That is like it's a well-to-do inn, and they feature various shows sporadically throughout the weeks.
Okay.
Various entertainments.
Okay.
They frequently do things that are more acrobatic based, aerialists, some trapeze, some tumbling, and stunt work, things like that.
Bunch of squirrels.
Okay. So, Shallows, 4, was it 2? So I'm looking at the districts and trying to find what we're near. We're near the Eleganza. We're near... Where's the shop? I'm not seeing the... 12 is the Shallows. Oh, that's on the other side. Heritage is 3. Let's do the Heritage District at the regular old pie.
Okay.
I assume that's kind of the Heritage District is like the historic district?
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Okay.
Fairly middle class across the spectrum.
Okay.
The regular old pie is an old, well-established inn. It's an eatery. Like, they live up to their name. They're famous for their meat pies.
All right. I will send... No. I'll just go in there in a guy's similar to what I've seen the Brotherhood wearing around there. If they're wearing, wooden pendants or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just go in, get a drink, start talking to people.
And what is the suggestion that you are imbuing? Because the crowd through here in this area is predominantly Brotherhood, and specifically in the building is almost entirely Brotherhood.
Okay. Does anyone stand out as higher up?
Make a perception check.
What's my perception at now? 24.
24. You can spot a couple people that tend to present themselves more assertively with more charisma than most others.
Okay. I can target up to 12 individuals, so I will target any owners and workers of the establishment,
Mm-hmm.
and then the higher ups and a few other people if I have any left over.
Sure. Yeah. We'll say
but that's the priority ranking.
Yeah. Good deal. You go ahead and get those people.
Okay. And then I will suggest that the Brotherhood is corrupt and untrustworthy, and the word should be spread.
Okay.
Oh God.
One of the characteristics of the spell is that it's got to be worded in such a manner as to make it sound reasonable. So you're asking, like, I can get that
so
for
I see what you're saying.
the owners and the
innkeeper.
workers, but for the
Yeah.
Brotherhood itself, for those individuals. So if
Okay.
if that's what you want to spread, I'll say the Brotherhood that you're trying to target automatically succeed on their save, so they're not.
Okay. No, I'm with you. It's not like Gesh where I'm giving something and they're just like, they believe it if they fail to save. So
Right.
I'm with you. Okay, so then I would... Let's just target just the workers and owners of the establishment, any non-Brotherhood members that are in there.
Okay.
And
So that'll be about
we'll go with the
7
same
people,
thing.
7 individuals.
Great.
Okay. I will go ahead and roll those.
It'll be DC 16 wisdom saves.
Okay. 2 successes, 5 failures.
Sweet.
So that kicks in for the majority of those you were trying to target.
Okay.
Did I do that math right?
2 and 5?
Yes.
Yep.
7 individuals. Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
So that's what you are starting to spread.
Okay.
And that'll take some time to get started.
Sure. Yep.
And
The main goal is I'm targeting these establishments to try and get the establishments upset with them. And as the word spreads, best case scenario, they get the establishment asks the brotherhood to leave or something like that. The main goal is not to cover the whole city in a story that the brotherhood is evil.
Mhm.
That's secondary, and like you said, will come slowly. But the main goal is to cause disruption at the establishments that seem to be these focal points.
Okay. We are running very low on time. So in 2 sentences or less, we're going to go ahead and go through day 2 and get that out of the way real quick.
I still had questions.
Make it 3 sentences if you have to. For Doran and Rye, are y'all continuing to work on your creations?
Yes, I still had my question about the cost because I never got to hear what that was.
Right. I will get that to you, and I'll text it to you over the course of this week.
Okay.
Go ahead and make your Constitution saving throw.
If you're low
This
on
is-
funds, sorry, I was gonna say I'll chip in, Garrett, if you need funds for that. So
I'm not low on funds, but I just don't know what this is costing.
You're muted, Rye.
I would like to argue because my die hit the side of the dice box when it rolled, but I got a 6. So
A 6. Okay, that is a failure.
Modified 20!
That is a success. Okay. Go ahead and mark another 24 hours off of your time. You are at midnight now of the second day.
So the first one was 12, now we've added 24 to it.
Yes.
Okay.
So 36 hours working total. Orberus, we'll start with you.
I had a question.
I'm going to be after I've done all the arrows, which shouldn't take too long. I'm going to. What do I have on my notes here? I'm going to start scouting places, the 5 spots.
Perception or investigation. Are you flying over, or are you sending them in to snoop around?
That was going to be basically where did at the end of the day where did Quaesitor check out already?
He has only gone to the regular old pie.
Okay, I will hit. I don't have the star, but I'll hit the opposite side of town, basically. The opposite side of the star.
over the shallows.
Okay, so you
Yeah,
head to
alright.
check out the 5 fiends.
Yes, the 5 fiends, and I am going to use a mixture of wild companion and wild shape to get myself and my familiar in there,
Okay.
and kind of scouts around. Familiar is going to be a mouse this time rather than a fox.
Okay, cool.
Possible.
Is this perception or investigation? Are you doing it from a distance and just looking, or are
Oh,
you
no. We're going in.
Okay, roll an investigation check for me.
Yay! Investigation! Am I rolling one for each or just one for one?
Just
roll?
one for you.
Okay.
And then having your familiar there adjusts the DC of what you can get.
Okay, wait. Okay, I got you. Now I can believe this.
You know, feel that investigation. Yeah, well, I don't know why you chose investigation over perception.
Okay.
Because I was going to try and find things. I wasn't expecting to roll a 1 and get a 0.
It's a building. It's a looks like a club and bar. There are tables and benches. There's a dance floor, and it's kind of chaotic. Like, in the evenings, it gets pretty busy, but over the course of the day, it's the Brotherhood coming in and out and being fairly quiet. There's not a whole lot of actual information you get from that particular day of scouting.
Good to know. All right, cool.
All right. Soyx.
If I get my sending message from Quaesitor this day, I will inform him that the armorer who provided me the armor was Loretta. And just give them that name so they can go check her out to see if there's anything fishy going on there. And then what do I know about... I was going through my notes last night. And what do I know about Lady Sine, who was Aura's mentor?
Lady Cinia. Right.
Dressinia.
Make a
We're all thinking it.
make a history. Actually, history or religion. Make history or religion check.
Well, obviously, I'm picking religion. 13?
13. Okay. Not a lot. You know, she is an older individual. She's often out of town. Her biggest reputation is as a researcher, and that a number of potion improvements are supposedly due to her skills.
Do I know her location?
No.
I don't know, like, where she operates out of?
Not with the 13.
Okay. Then yeah, if I get the message from Quaesitor for this day, of the update message, I will tell him that the armor was Loretta, and there's a potion maker named Lady Cinia, who's Aura's mentor. And that's about what I'm going to try to pass on for my update of the day. And then I'm going to walk around, attempt to find Norman within Dragonheart.
All right, make an investigation check.
14.
14. Not finding him. You do find another heretic that has been brought in off the streets. An elderly, half-elven woman, manacled, gagged, being taken into a room for questioning.
Divine sense.
No particular
Neat.
fiends or
Okay,
presence
well,
there.
upon seeing her, I'm going to ask one of the guards where they're keeping these people after they're interrogated.
He gives you directions to a guardhouse and prison center, but warns you that while you are absolutely more than welcome to visit in order to speak with the guards, you will need dispensation from the archpriest.
Of course.
Excuse me, to speak with the prisoners.
Of course. I make a note of the location. to pass on the next day of the daily update. And then I will end the day and begin reading the cataclysm that Rai gave me.
Okay. You go ahead and start out that. Halberd and Quaesitor, which one of y'all wants to go first?
Jordan can go first.
All right, Quaesitor, you're up.
Okay, I spend 10 hours working on the crossbow and chanting. I then go to the Harbor District, to the Spotless Ore, and repeat yesterday.
Okay. Same thing, focusing on the workers and owners.
Owners, and any non-Brotherhood patrons.
Perfect. Good deal. We are getting that going. And Halberd.
Yes, ma'am. I would like to go through the Brotherhood areas where I know that they're staying and believe the prisoners are going to be, and kind of go amongst them, blend in a bit. That means I feel most comfortable pulling out my charm. I'll do that and just see if I can locate where prisoners are being held, especially Tirican wants his face. And then end the day trying to talk to Sarai if possible about the group of friends which Selex told me about.
Okay. For locating any trace of Tirican Elias, make an investigation check. Are you focusing on a specific area? Did you say?
I was trying to pull up the map that you sent out, but I don't have it, so keep chat. Yeah, I know. There's like a million photos in the keep chat. So,
There really are.
Sorry. Those are me.
I guess that's what I was looking for was the districts, and all that jazz. But I'll go with one that has not been visited yet.
Okay, so that would probably be the Bastion Ward. Nobody's gone to the Wing and Claw yet.
Cool. I'll do that one.
Cool. Make an investigation check.
That's not shabby. 29.
29. You do confirm that a non-Brotherhood individual is being cared for and supported within, that they are well taken care of. You actually speak to the maid who has been delivering food up to the room. And she's just remarking on how it's so odd, a young half-elf stricken in the prime of his life. So by that, you guess that it's probably Elias who is being kept there.
Good deal. And then, yeah, as I said, talk with Miss Sarai.
Okay. We will go ahead and start off with that conversation as you have come back from your investigations at the beginning of next session. We'll pick up at that point because it is starting to get a little bit late.
Just a
little. Quaesitor, with that happening in the evening, briefly, is there anything you wanted to do in the day? No. Did we do that?
Was that
we went over that. I'm sorry.
Two?
Taking too many notes. Notes. You are...
okay.
You've got the 2 locations now where you've been starting to spread rumors. You were on top of it and very fast, and my writing cannot keep up. So, we are good. So that's up to evening of the second day. Rai and Doran are about 4 to 6 hours ahead of everybody, but we are tracking along, guys.
And
we're doing it.
Third day.
All right. So, as y'all are making your preparations, working your way through this time, and getting towards the culmination of this arc, this is exciting. Thank you for coming along with us on this adventure. We hope as you go through this week that you stay safe and stay healthy. Come back and join us next time. We will miss you while we're gone. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.